Pretty cool to have Mike Kimber, Micro Mike, Chat Sports, in studio for the next hour and 20 minutes. You can find him on YouTube. Also, he's with Herman Moore's Lions Nation Unite. Look for those dudes on the social networks online. Lions, can't get enough talking about the Lions right now, Michael. I mean, even the OTAs, the rookie camps, everything, it's just moving so fast that here we are getting ready to wrap up the first week of June, and you're less than 2 months out on training camp, right around the 3-month number on the season opener, Sunday Night Football in America. The Stafford story is old, though. Rams will be back in Detroit, so it's a swift moving off season. What are some of the things? I know I mentioned before the last break that Arnold, the rookie DB out of Bama, he talks it, he walks it. He seems to, without playing a game, and I'm not overhyping or having expectations beyond reality, but he already seems to be a perfect fit with the Lions and one of the team leaders. From Alabama, absolute perfect fit for Detroit. The maturity level of this young man is exactly what Dan Campbell is looking for. He is a young leader, vocal leader. What I like about what he brings is his confidence level is extremely high. He's very confident in his ability and what he can do defensively, and we're seeing this in OTAs and minicamp, how well he is doing and how physical he is. He's smart, stays the receiver. He's just been a nice piece for the Lions and a great trade. We've been saying it all before the draft. We need to get Terrion Arnold, and he's showing exactly why we drafted this guy, to give us some real fundamental play, young play in the secondary, another name that we can utilize like Aiden Hutchinson. Terrion Arnold's going to be part of that group as well. Yeah, and Ed Davis, who they signed from Tampa, and you're looking at this depth in the secondary, which in my lifetime, I'm 62, Michael, I've never seen a Lions secondary have quality depth like they have right now. It's going to be tough for some guys who were getting some snaps last year, and I think Holmes said it right after, or maybe it was during the combine. It's going to be tough for some of those dudes in the secondary and other players to get a roster spot this year. It's exactly going to be tough. You're going to see names like a Kindle Vildor that may not make the football team that was an integral part to the Lions postseason. He may not even make the team because you have so much depth there. And now we're even getting players like Brandon Joseph, who last year was an undrafted rookie safety, who's really stepping up this year, players that you don't even know. So this competition is going to be intense, and it is a victory for the coaching staff because let the best men win, and that's how you formulate your secondary, looking really good right now. I have to tell you that what Holmes and Campbell and the staff and the front office and Dorsey and Spillman and what they're doing and the perfect fits that they're bringing in, free agents. There's been a few bumps in the road, right? But for the most part, they're like on that 95 percentile run where whoever they draft or sign is the right fit for the Lions roster. And they fully believe what they have been doing. They've been preaching patience and development. And we've seen it last year, Futu Melifonwu, who've been waiting for, right? And he comes in, steps in, and does well. And now we're seeing right now players like Levi Onwuzurike, Brandon Joseph, some players that's been on this team, they're now starting to take that jump, and that's going to be significant for the rotation of this defense as we're all monitoring this part of the game, because the Lions defense can take that stride and do much better and improve what they did last year. We're talking about a team at this point who's already favored to make the Super Bowl, to be almost a ridiculous type of football team where it's almost automatic, right? Like these games, they're going to be favored to win in nearly every single 13 games are favored. The other 4, their biggest point total that they're getting, I think, was 3.5 from the Niners. And that's absolutely nothing. And the other 3 were like 0.5, 0.5, which is a coin flip. Coin flip. And guess what? With the 49ers game and some of these other games, it's actually on the road, and they always give the home team a 3-point advantage. That's guaranteed. So that means Vegas in the odds bettors are looking at the Detroit Lions like, yeah, this is not just a one-year development. This is a really good football team that can make the distance. I was hearing from some people connected to sports gambling in the state of Michigan, And the Lions made a lot of people a lot of money last season.
Absolutely, they did. And the year before as well, because they kept beating the odds.
Well, especially that second half.
Correct.
Right? Yeah, so that makes everybody happy, too. That's why they're roaring inside Ford Field at sports bars. When they're up at halftime, they're on the road, baby. We're going to Vegas. And then as they're sweeping up the garage, sports bar in Ada, hey, Bill, we got to turn off the lights. And I'm just sitting there like I got dumped by a girlfriend 2 hours before, just depressed.
Yeah.
And then, one guy, the bartender's like cleaning up. He's like, what are you going to talk about tomorrow? And I'm thinking, I've never attacked somebody at a watch party before. And I think he said it in a way like I think he wanted to throw down. So what are you going to talk about tomorrow? Oh, I don't know. How I posted bail at 1:30 to get in to do the show. Oh, God. And here we are now. It's June, right, man? It's just the offseason. It ends in the NFC title game. They get after it. Then the Senior Bowl. Here comes the Combine. There's free agency. Unbelievable draft with almost 800,000 people in downtown Detroit. They hit the ground running. Rookie camp, OTAs. Sub-Zero, by the way, Derek Barnes has given that nickname to Arnold.
That is a great nickname, Sub-Zero. Absolutely love it.
Because he can play everything. And here's interesting, just off of what we were talking about. And Derek Barnes said, our overall defense, the weapons we have, the flexibility we have as far as moving different, putting people into different positions, like us linebackers, we play everything edge, Mike, Will, it doesn't matter. And then in the back end, which is a secondary, I'm super excited. This is linebacker Derek Barnes of the Lions. We have some guys who are hungry. They're dogs out there in the field, and I'm excited. You see it now. Terrion Arnold, call him Sub-Zero, doing what he do. And I'm excited to see the other guys that are up and coming too.
It shows his confidence. Terrion Arnold is extremely confident. He's got ice in his veins like a Sub-Zero, so it makes sense, and I love the Mortal Kombat reference. What also is really good is there's a special person's birthday that's coming up here very soon. It's my girlfriend's daughter, Lana, turns 8. Huge shout-out to you. Happy birthday, Lana.
Amen. Happy birthday, Lana. Here's Alex Anzalone's quote that I read earlier today, talking about the upgrades in the secondary. I think that it was obviously an area of need, and they addressed it quickly in free agency, through trade, and even through the draft. Pass defense is one of the most important defensive stats in football, so that's obviously going to help us going forward. That's Anzalone and Barnes talking about their backside. And I'm telling you right now, when the Lions have the ability to go man coverage, that means there's some people getting after quarterbacks, and they got a lot of good quarterbacks on their schedule.
I got to ask this question today. Mike, do you believe that the secondary is going to be a net deficit for the Lions this year? I said no for the first time since 2014. What I'm seeing so far in minicamp and OTAs is these guys are aggressive. They are very confident. We're talking about Terrion Arnold and Carlton Davis. And they're doing exactly what we wanted Cam Sutton to do, what we wanted Emmanuel Mosley to do last year. It's actually being done on the field now. And players who we relied upon, they're doing well. They're getting better. They're getting the rest. The depth at the secondary right now is absolutely amazing. Now, we don't know who the starters are really going to be. I think we have an idea. Arnold, it's going to be Carlton Davis and Amik Robertson. But the fight that's taken on is just making these guys better and better with their game. And so the depth is looking really good throughout this season, and that's what we needed in that secondary.
And people are saying, well, you're getting excited about OTAs. No, it's I know what was missing from the Lions last year, even with the run through halftime and dominating the Niners in San Francisco. You watch them just get by Tampa and the Rams, and they were lucky.
Correct.
Because Stafford and Baker, they probably made Baker Mayfield some money in that game and the deal he signed, because you had Cam Sutton out there who couldn't cover anybody. By the way, Cam Sutton, because of the misdemeanor connected to what happened in Florida, the Steelers re-signed him. I saw that note yesterday. So good for him.
Good for him. Look,
he's the worst. He's up there with the all-time Lions secondary members who couldn't cover. Who was the other guy? Was it Westbrook? He played at Texas. I called him Toast. Oh, my God. They've had a lot back there.
To say who has been good for the Lions secondary, that's a little small list. To say what's bad has been a gigantic one.
So how old are you?
I am 39.
You're 39, I'm 42, so we got some different generations. So if I said in my lifetime, the best Lions corner and safety, wow. I'm going to go Bly.
Benny Blades was really good.
Benny Blades, old
school. He was a very good player.
Benny Blades would be one of them. You know, I could go even old school. You got like Lem Barney, but you haven't had the guy. You haven't had that guy that could just shut everybody down, right?
You know, last good player that we had in the secondary is Darius Slay, right? And Quandre Diggs.
Slay would be up there, and those are the other two names that I was going to kind of throw in the mix, but just, you know, Benny Blades comes to mind, and that's old school, and if we had the huge Lions Hall of Fame, he'd be there in a second.
Correct.
But I'm telling you right now, Arnold just has that. The minute he grabbed that mic at the draft,
he has the it factor.
He does. Beyond that, I'm telling you, I give Holmes and Campbell and, like I said, the front office team, the scouting staff, just everything they're doing. They're pushing the right buttons. It is exciting because I'm telling people that the Lions are there, and it's not going away unless you had catastrophic injuries, right?
Yeah, and I keep telling people that this team's window is not going to close in 4 years or 5 years.
I think it's a 7 till 10 year window.
And it's the ability for these guys to continue to draft these players. So if this continues on where every draft you're getting players that are starters and contributors, it's not going to get bad, right? You're consistently doing this. I mean, in this year's draft, there's a player that no one really is talking about who's blown up minicamp, who I think is going to be a nice piece on offense. And that's our rookie running back, Sion Vaki. Great hands.
Out of Utah, right?
Out of Utah. You know, he's a safety, he's a running back,
kick
a special teamers, kick returner. And right now, he's showing the ability in the pass game that we haven't seen probably since a Theo Riddick. We had him as a running back who could play in the slot. Not at the best at the running back, but my God, his hands were so soft and caught everything, kept getting first downs. And you're seeing Vaki. We're getting this guy in the middle to late rounds who is going to be a contributor this year. But he can do more than just to be a passer as a running back. He can do multiple positions. This is the greatness of Brad Holmes, his ability to find the talent like this.
Well, look at Laporta, right?
Yeah.
Nobody saw that year coming.
No,
when
nobody.
He was drafted.
Nobody expected Laporta to come in here and be one of the best tight ends in all of football.
Top 5
and
easily.
It was literally in OTAs and minicamp. We seen it right then and there that this guy is different. And we're seeing that with Terrion Arnold right now, that this guy is different. I think he is going to be an island player. I think we struck gold. I think we're going to have a number one corner for many years. Arnold has the stature. He has the confidence. He has the play. He is a perfect fit where he's right now.
Especially in the NFL, if you can jam receivers.
Correct.
He's physical. He's strong, bigger. Yeah, he's not a 4.39 guy, okay? But I'd rather have Arnold than have a guy 5'9", 179 who ran a 4.35, right?
There's fast speed and then there's game speed and there's
different football speed
ones
too.
Brian Branch wasn't the fastest guy at his NFL Combine, but he is fast on the field.
There's another guy that contributed right away. Now we're talking Arnold, Vaki. You're going down the list. We're like, I mean, it's a machine right now Holmes has.
It's a machine. It is turning out talent, and every time they draft these players, another year, one of the players that they drafted before starts to step up. We're seeing that. Levi right now is doing that. You're seeing Joshua Pascal stepping up a little bit more. This ability to be patient, draft your players, and then build upon that after the draft to turn them to be NFL players is uncanny. This has never happened in the organization for the Detroit Lions that I can remember at 39. I've never seen anything like this.
And now it's starting to happen every offseason.
Every offseason.
And that's the building blueprint, the building blocks, whatever you want to call it. Because here we are with a team that was a quarter and a half away from the Super Bowl, And we're not talking Goff. We're not talking Gibbs. We're not talking Montgomery. We mentioned Laporta. We haven't even got to J-Mo, who's looking fantastic in OTAs.
Absolutely amazing.
Okay? Looking like the J-Mo you saw at Alabama, right?
Correct.
When he was healthy. I mean, look at all we could sit here, and I know we're doing like an hour and a half on the huge show across Michigan. So many guys we could dissect and talk about, or talk about. I mean, I get giddy. I really do. Just talking to you, I'm like, give me the season.
Because the depth is so good that if we lose...
I've never seen
been
this.
like this.
You're 39, I'm 62. I know I look 42, and thank you, Mike. That's what Superfly said earlier, is that I've lived through it all, on and off air, even back when I was a nightclub DJ. And I didn't sleep at all the night before, and I had to watch the Lions, and then they stunk, and I was hangry, and then I had to get some greasy pizza, and I slept all afternoon, then had to go out Sunday night because they had great drink specials at Gipper's. But again, I don't want to go through all my personal life with you, Kimber, but, the late 80s, 90s rocked. Mike Kimber, Micro Mike, Chat Sports, YouTube, you need to follow him, okay? He brings it when it comes to the Lions, NFC North, which we'll get to more on the Lions. The trending stories in the NFL. Also, he's part of Herman Moore's Lions Nation Unite. Look for them on Facebook, Twitter, online. If you have a Lions comment or question, you can join us on the Banks & Center Hair Restoration Team listener line, 1-866-838-4843. That's 1-866-838-HUGE. At Huge Show on Twitter, The Huge Show on Facebook, and opt in on the Roast Umber Coffee text chain. Just text HUGE to 21,000. More on the Lions, the NFC North, and the NFL with Kimber in studio.
From Petoskey to Detroit, this show is huge.
Huge here for my good friends at Meyer. Now, all Meyer locations across the state are getting ready to celebrate the best female golfers in the world. They are back in West Michigan at the Blythefield Country Club in Plainfield Township, just north of GR. It's happening next week. The Meyer LPGA Classic for Simply Give. They're teeing off their 10th year in fighting hunger by donating to local food pantries. It'll be the best year yet for helping neighbors in need and enjoying golf, food, and family fun. So join everybody across Michigan for the 10th year of the Meyer LPGA Classic for Simply Give. Watch elite women's golfers, enjoy fun for the whole family, and support Meyer's Simply Give program, feeding our hungry neighbors in need. The Meyer LPGA Classic for Simply Give is a pro golf tournament featuring the world's best female golfers. And don't forget, dads get in free on Father's Day, which is June 16th. So go to MeyerLPGAClassic.com for tourney and ticket info. That's MeyerLPGAClassic.com. And if you can't make it to the tournament, you can also help directly by purchasing Simply Give donation cards at checkout lanes at your local Meyer across Michigan, or online when you place a pickup or home delivery order at Meyer.com or in the Meyer app.
There's a new player in town. Hi, I'm Herman Moore, Lions All-Pro wide receiver, and I'm talking about Eagle Casino and Sports, the real money mobile casino. It's so easy to play. You can go from wager to winner to wallet, just like that.
Sign up now and we'll match your deposit up to $1,500. Or you can get a risk-free bet up to $1,000.
Eagle Casino and Sports. Made in Michigan, made for Michigan.
Must be 21 or older in Michigan to play.
Huge here for the Banks & Center in Grand Rapids and their hair restoration team. If you're somebody looking to restore the hair you once had, it's simple, it's easy, and the latest technology can help you. What you need to do is find out more at banksandcenter.com. That's BENGTSON center.com. They're located in Grand Rapids. They service the entire state, and their hair restoration team will give you an evaluation on what they can do for you.
You're listening to The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network.
The Huge Huge Show is back live across Michigan. Superfly Hayes is our executive producer. Talking Lions with Mike Kimber. Chat Sports, Micro Mike on YouTube. Look him up. Follow him. Lock in on what he's saying about the Lions, NFC North, and the NFL on YouTube. And also, Michael is part of Herman Moore's Lions Nation Unite. Check them out on Facebook and the social networks and online.